Pike on the Up Yours Houston Astros Express. Right back into the Windy City. Hey, BTG with a $10 donation. Appreciate you, buddy. He said, love you, buddy. Keep crushing it. Back to work. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, BTG. Shout out to you, bud. Appreciate it. You know how we are. We're always working, man. Salute.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, bud. So let's head back into Chicago, JD, and we're going to kind of switch up some sports. We're going to switch the sports up here from the football field to the court. And let's talk some Chicago Bulls here. And they get a big win for the season opener over the Detroit Pistons. And once again, I got to see some of this game. I'll say this, man, that Vucevic is going to be a problem. Vucevic is going to be a problem for the league. He's better than I thought he was. I fully, I was like, yeah, he'll be good. No, he's going to be, with how he works down in the paint and how big he is and how he sets other people up, he's going to be a problem. But I want to know what you think on that game, so I'll let you take it away.
For sure, man. There was it's nice, finally, for the first time in 2015, 16, something like that, since Jimmy Butler left. Since Jimmy Butler left, the Bulls have never expected to win a game. They haven't expected to win anything. Bulls fans haven't expected us to win anything. But here's the thing. We expected to win this game. We expected to win this game, and Levine's expected to win this game. And he talked about it after the game. They asked him about it, and he said that the past is behind us. The last 4, 5, 6 years, it's been a failure. It's totally behind us. We have a new roster. We have a new culture. And Levine is one of the only guys that's still the starter. I mean, from the last regime, they pretty much got rid of everyone. Wendell Carter is gone. Otto Porter is gone. Everybody's gone. Everyone that you thought maybe should be gone is gone, and everybody that you hoped would be here is here. So Chicago, I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal to be a Bulls fan and a Bears fan, but mostly a Bulls fan right now because we actually have a legitimate chance at the 4 seed in the East. 4 to 6 seed is what I'm predicting at this moment. You talk about Vucevic. Vucevic is a top 5 center in this league. When you have a top 5 center in this league, I mean that's one dimension of the game taken care of. You have a strong post game. There's not that many post players in the league anymore. So if you have one, that's one dimension that you have taken care of. One guy that I compare Vucevic to that I would say is a little bit better than Vucevic, but doesn't get the stats and is heavily underrated in my opinion is Brook Lopez. But that's neither here nor there. But regardless, when you have guys like that, you have a chance to win in this league, and then you surround him with playmakers like them. I mean, we've talked about it at a bunch, and
yeah,
it's phenomenal. And the Pistons, they had no chance, especially when they started rolling at the end. There's a level of confidence with these guys. All of the main guys in the Chicago Bulls core are hitting their peak right now in their career. So this is exciting to see. We'll see what these guys become. Sorry, I just wanted to pass it to. What do you think, Ross?
Dude, you're center. Oh my God,
one of the best.
He ran those boards. There was no one that could touch him. 15 rebounds on the day. I mean, 15 points, but again, he held that team together.
But can you 15 imagine rebounds and 15 points that's for a center. You can't ask much more, but that's 15 extra chances.
And I just love that dogfight mentality out of this team. It's just all the points scored in the paint. Half the points were scored in the paint. That's a dogfight in a basketball game. It was fun to see. It really was.
It's really exciting. It's really exciting to watch the Bulls be back in it.
You know what too? You know what was interesting to see about that Bulls game, JD, is with now you actually have more than just one threat to worry about on the court. So Zach LaVine is a mismatch nightmare, and he gets the. You could tell they work the ball around to try and find the weak spot. That he, because a lot of the times the switch, they'll switch and he'll be a mismatch. And I mean, yesterday he got like 34 points effortlessly for him. Like he dropped 34 on Detroit, and it looked relatively easy.
Exactly. It's a lot easier when you have other guys around you, like DeMar DeRozan and Ball, and Vooch.
Yeah, I think I definitely think he's benefiting from actually having real talent around him, because they can't just key on him anymore. They can't just say, oh, we're just going to shut LaVine down and the Bulls have nothing else. No, you can't do that anymore. You know what I mean? That's not the game plan anymore. That's not how you beat the Bulls no more.
And we took our bench guys and put them we took our starters and put them on the bench. Sorry, Ross. What were you going to say?
No. It's just like the only thing I could take away to say negative on your squad there. Like, you guys are 90% for frickin' 3 free throws. And then, like, the only negative is the personal fouls. Like, both
they had a lot of
teams
guys in foul trouble.
Yeah, both teams almost had 20 personal fouls.
I'd rather take aggression, you know what I mean, versus passiveness. Yeah.
But it was
sure.
That's like the only negative I can take away from this. Great game.
No doubt. I think in this, the exciting thing is, I think that like Lonzo Ball and Vucevic and everyone is all right, peace out, Pat. I think everyone is excited for this era of Bulls basketball. And I think that we either have the pieces to make a championship team, or we're like 1 or 2 pieces away. And that is really exciting. When you're in that mix instead of the lottery mix, it's so exciting.
Yep.
Another thing that Ross kind of brought this to my attention, but more than 50% of the points were scored in the paint. So that's like down and dirty, and that's a dogfight. You know what I mean? Like, more than half the points were scored in the paint. That's the Bulls driving. You know what I mean? That's LaVine driving to the basket. That's Lonzo Ball driving to the basket. That's Vucevic working down low. That's them not.
And we do have shooters too. That's the fun thing.
But it's not.
But we don't have to. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like that's like them being like, we're not afraid. We're gonna go to the hoop and draw the foul, and if we gotta score 25 points or 20 points from the line, we'll take it.
Well, here's the other thing I was impressed with. Your defense kind of locked them down, so they didn't have one particularly star player. Don't get me wrong. Jeremiah Grant got 24 points, but a lot of these points are spread out between the entire team on the Pistons. So you guys were doing a good job of not letting one guy kind of break out and start getting hot. I was really kind of impressed with the defense.
That's a big deal. I mean, we know offense is not going to be a problem for the Bulls, but can they play defense in the, down the stretch? So that is something that they will have to answer the bell. None of these guys are known particularly for their defense. Well, not none of them, maybe a few of them, but not LaVine and not a lot of the key guys on offense are known for their defense. So this will be very interesting to see what happens this year and how they manage this. I'm sorry.
We got a question from the chat specifically. If you want to pull up Danny Ken Aquatics, we got a little extra time from 6:45. If you want to pull that up, JD, what's your response to this?
You want to take a swing at that one there, buddy?
So I'm trying to so Bulls fans know that if and when
we get it right.
Oh, when we get it right, okay. We'll get a championship or two because upper management will screw it up. See, that's the thing, though. You may not know this, Danny Aquanics, but we actually got a new GM. Arturas Karnosevich is, I'm probably butchering that, but regardless, that's his. We have a new GM. So you would have been right every single year except for the last 2 years. We fired Garpax. We've been talking about firing Garpax for about 10 years now, but actually, Dana can and
I like
the
AK.
upper management. They're gone.
I'm going to call him AK, but I like you guys' new GM's attitude and mentality. I like it.
Yeah, AK. Yeah, he's the new GM. So yeah, we don't have that old upper management anymore. I'm willing to give these guys a shot until they prove otherwise. Until like we're like 5 years in and we don't even sniff the Eastern Conference Finals. Then I'll start to question his leadership. But until then, I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a good new direction. So I'm excited as a Bulls fan.
So my closing thoughts on this, and then I'll swing it over to you and just kind of get what you took out of it. For game one, it's a good start. That's a good start for them. The D held under 90 points, and like Ross said, nobody really was able to get any type of momentum on the Pistons. They held, they, for the most part, held it down. And I'll tell you, man, that style of play fits them perfect. The way they want to do that work down low with Vucevic and just create mismatches, and then use Vucevic to draw guys in and then just kick it back out. And it was that they're going to be a problem, man. I think
our
the
best
Bulls
player is Vucevic, and Levine is our second best player, and I'd say Lonzo Ball is probably our third best player. So we need to feature those guys the most. Maybe DeMar DeRozan, but regardless, we need to get the ball moving, and I think that's what this team is doing. And dominating the paint is that's going to make us a problem. That's hard.
Vucevic is a big body down low, and he's hard to move off the block. And that's what they did yesterday. They at times during the game, they just said, Nikola, just set up down low and stay down there, man. And there was good 6-7 minute stretches where he would set up down low and just sit there and just not, you know what I mean? And the Pistons couldn't move him. They couldn't get him out,
He's a beast.
And he's a good in close like that. He's real good, dude. Just that little turnaround hook shot, like the little turnaround hook is real good for him. And I think they're
Absolutely.
I think the Bulls could impress people this year. I think they could surprise people.
Well, I'm hoping we do. We have a lot of good match. I think we match up well with a lot of Eastern Conference teams. I think Joel Embiid would give us problems. I think Giannis would give us problems. But I think that every other team we could probably give them problems. Like for instance, the Nets. I don't think the Nets are particularly deep.
They're not.
You know what I mean?
They don't have any depth. That's their issue. That was their issue last year.
We're like 9 deep, so we could tire you out a little bit. All you guys do is rely on KD the whole time. So that's where I'm looking at that. I mean, the Bucks. If we the Bulls face the Bucks, they're screwed. But every other team, I like our chances.
Yeah.